Hello, everybody. Apologies for the wait. We did an executive meeting right before this. I went a little over. Let me pull up my screen. All right, I'll give it one more minute and then we can get started. Again, sorry for that. We had a meeting that went over for this, but we'll make sure we record this and post it online for everyone, and we'll have everything ready for you guys. Okay, let's get started. So first off, thank you for being here. This is essentially the welcome orientation for the different committees we'll have in 2026 for Fulton County. And there's a bunch to go over, but don't worry about it. We'll take it one step at a time. Let's go to the next one. So for our agenda, we'll be looking at, first off, what are committees, how are they defined, explain some of the existing committees and how they work. Then we'll have some breakout rooms to kind of talk about kind of what each one does. Then we'll go into maybe the meeting schedules as well. That kind of depends on who's chairing said committee. But I know a few of them have already set up, I guess, intro calls for each one. They'll talk about that. And then after that, we'll have some closing statements and thoughts, and then next steps for everyone to get plugged in and get started. Okay. Any questions about any of this so far? No. Okay. So first off, what is a committee for our county, right? What does that even mean? So all this comes from the bylaws that we have, and our bylaws necessitate a couple committees to be there. But essentially, the way it works is that committees are created and designed by officers, or they're created ad hoc by the chairperson. And that can depend on kind of what they're looking for whatever need. So, for example, sometimes we have committees for certain goals or certain events throughout the year. It could really range from anything, uh, but typically it has to do with more like GOTV, voter registration, one of the regional teams, let's say. So it can vary, but essentially it's kind of the same volunteering you're used to, just more codified within a group. So that way it's multiple people working on one project. So it's a more efficient that way. Okay. Now, the chairperson will always be an ex officio member of all standing and ad hoc committees, but they won't be attending everything. Typically, when a committee is made, the chairperson will appoint a chairperson for said committee, and then they will report at our regular business meetings or regional meetings on kind of what they've been up to, how they've been working, things like that. Um, Right now, so I'm the chair, for example, for the communications committee. So oftentimes you might see me at a meeting saying, hey, this is what we've posted about, this is what we've emailed about, this is what we've worked on, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, sorry. Someone else in the waiting room. Okay. And so that's typically what will happen. Members are also allowed to speak. Just make sure you talk to your chairperson first of the committee. And that way you guys can kind of sync up on what to go over. But it's a great example of how we can all work together more as a county. Maybe the next one. All right. So here's a list of all the committees we have so far. Some are up and running, some not so much yet. But right now, this is the list we're working with. And so, first off, we've got our affirmative action committee, communications, fundraising, membership. Oh, one sec. Let me put that. Sorry, guys. All right. So, fundraising, membership, records and processes, field, political engagement, your precinct cluster captains, which you also may have heard as like city captains. It's the same thing. And then the bylaws committee. Let me see if I can do that. Second, I'm going to send the link to someone else who wants to join. See if I can send that to them. There it is. All right, one sec, guys. Let me send this over to them so they can join us. There they are. Perfect. All right. And then I'll send this down. There they go. Okay, cool. All right. So again, these are the 9 ones we've got. Right now, the Affirmative Action Committee, I don't believe anyone's in charge of that one just yet, but I'm in charge of communications. Chase Stell, our vice chair, is in charge of fundraising. Membership is Dr. Yolanda Ogletree. Records and processes is also me, and I'll also explain these before we leave the slide too. Field, I believe that's our field. Sorry. That's our field director, of course. And then we have political engagement. That would be, oh, there's someone else. That'll be Landon, our political director. And then precinct cluster captains, those are organized by regional level, on the regional level. So if you know Cassandra Littlejohn, I want to say Jacob Pierce, and then Lucian Tansel, they're the ones who you would go to become a precinct or city captain. And the bylaws committee, that one's already full, if I'm not mistaken, and it has representation from each region. Some of these committees will have people from all over the county, and so it'll be a larger roster, right? Some of them, on the other hand, when they're made, they're intended to represent the entirety of the county, so it won't exactly be a large list. Like, for example, bylaws, I believe, has 2 to 3 people from each region, just so that way there's representation overall. Whereas a group like, oh, let's say communications, for example, that one's mostly mid Fulton right now and a little bit of North Fulton, but we're expanding that. And so tonight you'll probably hear about each one. They all kind of have their own setup in that sense, but ultimately they're most of them are open to just about everybody except for probably bylaws and maybe memberships. I think for membership you have to be a post seat holder exclusively, but the rest you can be a general member. You don't have to be a post seat holder per se. All right, so now let's talk about, I guess, what each one does. Affirmative action, from what I saw in the bylaws, that one's not spelled out as explicit yet. But for communications, I can definitely go over that. All right, so for the communications committee, we handle everything messaging for the party. So that includes, graphic design, photography, videography, talking to the press, social media at any party event or activities. Let's see, newsletters, blogs. Oh, there we go. Anything coming from lots of people joining right now. Anything coming up from the party going to the public is going to be from the communications committee or myself as the director and chair of the communications committee. So right now we have what 10 channels, I suppose, or 10 platforms we work off of. We got Blue Sky, we've got our actual blog on our website, we got our email, we got Facebook. And in fact, on Facebook, we actually have 4 different groups. Take that back. We have 4 groups for the county, one for each region, north, middle, and south, and then one overall one as well. Then we have Instagram, we have Threads, TikTok, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and then YouTube, right? So we use all of these, and they're all very well, some are more active than others, but we're looking to update that a little bit. I think right now I'd say Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, that person too, and maybe probably Facebook, I guess, are probably our main ones. And so if you join the committee, you'll be working on generating more content for social media or for email or for video, one of those 3. Eventually, we might do more kind of talking to the press stuff, but that's probably a little bit more high level, and that might have to wait till later on once the general release starts kicking in. Otherwise, in terms of communication, this is what the overall depth of it is. Let's see. I see some of our other exec members have also joined. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Franklin. Appreciate you walking folks through these.
Yeah, no. So all I've done so far is just gone over like some intro stuff, kind of explain some of the committees, go back a bit, just gone through this list, talk through each one. And right now we're just on my first one, communications. So let's see. So otherwise, and is Chase on? Yes, he is. Chase, would you be able to talk about fundraising?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let me go over to that for you. Here you go.
All right. Thank you, Franklin. So yeah, fundraising committee, we do have an active committee. We have probably 5 members that have been consistently joining, uh, every other week on during our planning calls. But we could use more, especially this month. We're focusing primarily on the 3 Black History Month trivia events that we're doing across the county. Um, and then after those events conclude, we're going to shift our focus to the annual gala, the fundraising gala, which we're hoping to do in probably August or early September, before the chaos of get out the vote takes place, before the November election. So, everything from identifying keynote speakers, venues, logistical details, outreach, all of those items are going to be, um, part of the efforts that the fundraising committee is going to be doing over the next couple months. And we definitely need a couple more folks on that committee. So, if you're interested in, I would say number one, event planning, and number two, comfortable with making the ask, because after this month, we're going to spend some of our fundraising committee times doing call time, because I think everybody on this call understands that we need money this year. And last year was an off cycle, so we uh, didn't there wasn't as much energy in the ether to raise money, but there is this year, so we need to lean into that energy and bring money into our county party. So if you're comfortable, making the ask, and if you like event planning, I think this is a good committee that you should be a part of. And if you're not part of this committee but want to be, send me an email at vicechair@fultondems.org. We could definitely use some more folks, so join us. And I think, Franklin, I think that covers it.
Okay. Let's see here. So let me go to the next one. I can pull up this menu. There we go. Okay. Okay. Can you guys still see the slides?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then next, records and processes. So this is another committee. It's brand new. I started it this year, and the goal of it is to start documenting some of our our internal processes as a party. So I'm sure a lot of you, just over the years have volunteered a bunch. And I think a consistent issue with a lot of organizations is that once the people who have been running it for oh so long step away, you kind of lose a lot of that institutional knowledge and a lot of the history that came with their experience. And so this committee's objective is really to resolve that. So we'll be documenting all the processes that our party has, right? Whether they're in the bylaws or not. Sometimes they're ad hoc. Sometimes it's something that, we're allowed to make as our own as we see fit. And sometimes they're explicitly defined in the bylaws. And so our main goal is saying, okay, what are some of the regular things we know we always have to do year after year, month after month, whatever it may be? Let's write down, instructions in terms of how to do it. And that way, if, God forbid, we all get, taken away to like El Salvador or something, whoever comes in next knows what to do in terms of whatever the role is, whatever the job is, whatever the different event is. Like this way, we're not always starting from scratch as a party year after year, cycle after cycle. One of the key benefits I feel like for this is that once we learn how to write down, codify, and measure what we're doing, we can start proving upon it. And so that way, after like, let's say this cycle, for example, when we go into the next one in 2028, we'll have a good idea of kind of where we're at and kind of what the next steps ought to be to where we can actually improve. So that's the main goal of this. And so I gave some examples in this one, like how to run an online meeting, how to launch a new committee, how to book a venue for the party for, like, say, an event you have for your region or something like that. So this way we just have more continuity, more institutional memory, and more transparency in terms of what's going on, when, where, and why.
And Franklin, if I may just add
Yeah.
something briefly here, I kind of see this as a no regret. We have to start doing this. The good news is for whomever is able and interested to join this subcommittee, we're not technically starting from scratch everywhere. So we do have some things documented to help you guys like reference how we might like want to the look and feel for some of these documents. And obviously you'd have the opportunity to liaise directly with the different members of the exec team to get perspective to help document. But even though this might not be or sound the most glamorous, I think it's actually one of the most important for us this year. So thanks, Franklin.
Yeah, absolutely. Then next up, I believe we have field.
And I can speak to this one briefly, Franklin. So when you think of field, right, and I know quite a few of you have already volunteered on campaigns, but think of doing field work across the county as executing our plan through the rest of the year. Whether that's, helping train some of our grassroots volunteers or other post seat holders, members, folks within our communities about best practices for canvassing or phone banking. It's actually launching those events, hosting those events, being a leader, frankly, for the rest of the county when it comes to, getting out the vote. Explicitly, if you were to read our bylaws, we actually talk about getting out the vote a lot. It's a major priority area for us as a county, as obviously the rest of the state. So, you'll really be both boots on the ground but also some of the thought leaders for how we orient ourselves throughout the rest of 2026. So another vital committee, I mean, these are all very important, but we need to get Dems elected. That's number one why we're here. And so if you have campaign experience, if you're really comfortable talking on the phone, if you like to get out and walk around your neighborhood and knock doors, this is the committee for you. And we've got a pretty good infrastructure and talent pool already in place for you to plug into.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Uh,
see Landon has his hand up.
Yeah, and I'll just add to this as someone who has done field over a decade. This is also just as important as all the rest of our committees. And I know folks that hear field, they hear canvassing, and they may feel tense or whatnot, but it is field is about relationship building. And it's about connecting with our community, and it's not just always about like um doing this for campaigns or for candidates or getting out the vote per se, even though that is important and that is the focus of what we're going to be doing in this committee. This is also about the kind of relational organizing of it all. We know that elections happen every cycle, every year, and this program in this committee will ultimately get to a point where we're doing this years long organizing and field program to where we are connecting with our community, not just on elections, but also just in the off cycle at any given time, because field and direct voter contact is about relationship building and talking to people. So don't see it as this kind of like, oh, I'm scared to knock on a door and talk to people about a campaign. This is also just about connecting with your community. So if you want to be really involved in having conversations with folks, getting to understand people's issues, this is a great committee to be a part of.
Awesome. Thank you, Landon. And actually, it's a great segue. Because right next, we have our political engagement and accountability committee.
Wonderful. Perfect timing. So, this is a newer committee as well. For those who don't know me, I'm Landon. I'm the political director on the campaign. I have over a decade's worth of experience working on political campaigns up and down the ballot. And I really wanted to take this opportunity to be a part of this committee, really focusing on some key things. Um, Right now, we need to the focus areas that we're going to be tackling is engaging with our elected officials, both state, local, and federal. This can be in multiple aptitudes. This is also in that relationship building aspect. We have a lot of elected officials in Fulton County. We're not always tapped into them. And I think that this is a great opportunity with this committee to be able to build better relationships with our Democratic representatives, both not only at the state house and the state senate, but also on the local level and the municipal level. And That will be a part of the focus of this committee as well, along with our candidate recruitment and relationship building. We all know that, like I said, elections happen in every given cycle. And so there's candidates coming up, and they may not know how to, be a part of a campaign. What does it look like, first time candidates? And we want to be able to recruit these folks to be the next generation of our potential outgoing leadership that's coming in. We all know that. The elected officials that we have in office often step into a different role. They end up resigning X, Y, and Z. And so we want to build the next generation of these candidates through that relationship building and recruitment. Additionally, the political monitoring and rapid response. This will go hand in hand with the communications committee, because we want to be involved in what's going on across our county. That both on the Democratic level, being able to monitor and go what's on with different bills, different things that are going on in our Board of Elections meetings, our Board of Commissioners meetings, our City Council meetings, and then also being able to do those rapid response and holding our Republicans that are still in office accountable, because we all know that they do certain things under the table and we don't know about them because we're not aware of those things. So that political monitoring rapid response of the Republican accountability, because for the most part, Fulton County is democratically held, but there are a couple of seats that we need to take in flip, and so that would be a part of that kind of accountability process. The structure that I want to bring right now, currently, I had started this journey of being the political director under having a political liaison in each region. I kind of want to shift that a little bit and essentially have six members in total, two in the North Fulton, two in Mid, and two in South. When I say members, I mean voting members per se. So this committee will kind of focus on having a co-chair or co-lead in each region that you could rely on when it comes to, getting directives within that region. Because we know Fulton County is so large, I really wanted to take the opportunity to give two people an opportunity to really do some political work within their specific region they live in, because we know that they know what's going on in that region, and we want them to be a part of that. That being said, that doesn't mean that six members are going to be just a part of this committee. If you are interested in wanting to be a part of the political committee, but you're not necessarily ready to step into that leadership role, that's okay. I want you to be a foot soldier to what's going on. But in terms of the structure, I really wanted to have that kind of mentality where you would be able, if you're wanting to be that foot soldier per se, you want to go to a board of commissioners meeting, or you want to go to state capitol, that you can rely on your political lead in your region or your political leads in your region to be able to help guide you and support you in that process. Again, it will be all under the leadership of myself, with the chair and the vice chair and the communications director serving as those ex officio folks. We are planning to have bi-monthly meetings. Our first meeting will actually be this coming Monday at 7 o'clock, where I will go in even more detail about what our focus areas are going to be and kind of what we're going to be starting our engagement in. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to myself at political@fultondems.org. There will also be multiple communications out over the next week about this first meeting. But like I said, the functions really just being able to monitor that political activity, really also providing that issue-based analysis and strategical recommendations. I think this is also just as important in the functions of what this committee is going to look like. We have a lot of subject experts in different matters, people that work in healthcare, people that work, in economy, people that are, you know, that focus on these different things or advocate for these different issues that we stand for as Democrats. And I want that subject matter expertise a part of this committee. So if you work in healthcare, if you work in civil or human rights, like this is a great opportunity to be a part of this committee. Along with that, coordinating that engagement opportunities and really supporting our regional and county-wide political actions that are going to be going on. So our political events, really working with our fundraising team and our communications team on different things. So this committee will be kind of an umbrella and really kind of focus and do things that kind of span in other committees. So this is also just a plug for that too. And again, I really want to focus on building our coordination between our regions, really building our rapid response readiness as things are coming up all the time, not only on the federal level but on the local level, and then increasing our accountability when it comes to Republicans, and then expanding our Democratic engagement in the county. So, yeah, that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Landon. All right. And then next up, we have our precinct cluster captains. So this is something that's more on the regional level. And let's see, I can go. Let me move some of these windows out of the way. There we go. Okay. So cluster captains are essentially folks that are appointed at a regular meeting in one of their regions to kind of look over a precinct or think like a city or a town in your area. And you're basically the point person for that section of your region. So for example, I know Mid Fulton has some, I think North Fulton does as well. And so each region will have a few folks that like to point people in, whether that's say East Point or let's see, Grant Park or Sandy Springs or what have you, who are like the touch points for the party to really connect with the people, the public on the ground level, outside of our meetings, let's say. So when things kick off from a field perspective, the precinct cluster captains will take a big role in that. But there's other things they can do too. It's really attached to the peer view of your regional chair. So definitely get with them this month if you're interested. And there is more to the process of getting appointed as one eventually, but it's pretty straightforward, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
Yeah, and I can just add here, Franklin,
Mhm.
it is a fairly straightforward process. The way I like to think about it, and this is the way I kind of thought about it when I was at the Mid Fulton regional chair level, was looking for those folks who are already really engaged in their neighborhoods even. I want to shout out, North Fulton. They've got a really cool model that I know Cassandra's expanding upon, but their lens is truly that, like starting from the street. Um, do I know my neighbors? Do I know my neighborhood? And then expanding it there from like a city perspective. And I know it's the same for, Mid Fulton and Atlanta. What are the different pockets, neighborhoods, aka precincts that, someone may be already heavily plugged into, and we can leverage their expertise to help guide some of our grassroots work. So suffice to say, if you're someone who knows your neighbors really well, you're going to your neighborhood events and you want to think through different ways to organize, this is a really good opportunity to blend both worlds. So, thanks, Franklin.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Okay, so that's the broad overview of every committee so far. I'm sure everyone memorized every single thing about all of them.
Oh, sorry,
Uh,
Franklin, one minute.
yeah.
Is Dr. Owen, has she had a chance to do membership?
No, I have
Um,
not. I'm here.
All right,
okay,
Dr.
yeah,
O, we
sure.
can give you a couple minutes to go over membership.
Okay,
You go
thank
back.
you. Membership. The mission of membership is to cultivate active, engaged membership across Fulton County by supporting regional development, strengthening participation, and ensuring every member has opportunities to contribute. And the vision is a unified county where all regions are empowered, fully represented, and collaboratively advancing the organization's mission. With this committee, two requirements is one, you have to be a post-seat holder, and two, you have to be in your position at least a year. So what does the membership committee do? It's a host of things from recruiting new members, onboarding and engaging, retention and participation, maintaining accurate records, ensuring transparency, feedback, and accountability. So there's a number of things that post-seat holders can add to this newly created committee. And also, it will probably be about 5 members from each region. Right now, we have about 140-ish post-seat holders, so that's a lot of people. So having members from each region would help move this process along. Thank you, and that concludes the membership committee's responsibilities.
Thank you. Okay. So to round us out, I think it'd be good. I set up some breakout rooms and everyone can join them. To get, whichever, learn more about whatever committee you're interested in, right? I know there's been a few, and I don't think there's a hard limit, but I think we've been recommending you usually want to do one or two. There's a lot going on. We don't want to overwhelm you guys. Hold on. There you go. Okay. So definitely, pick maybe your top favorites and kind of join their room and see what they're about. And then eventually, we'll announce the starting dates for each one and when they'll have their first meeting, and then people can join there as well. All right. Real quick, just any questions before I open the rooms up from anybody?
So you'll have a room for each committee? Is that
Yes,
what
that's
we're
right.
doing? Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll have communications, fundraising, records and processes, field, political engagement, and regional precinct captains. Let me have one more person in. There we go. Okay. So now I'll open the rooms and just pick which one you feel most comfortable with.
Did Franklin?
Yes.
It's Ken. Did you mention membership in that too, or they're not going to have a room?
Let me go back and see.
Yes, membership has been omitted.
But all the other ones are there, except for, I believe, affirmative action. We're still setting that one up. That'll be one of the ones we have later on this year as well.
Okay.
Sorry, Franklin, have you opened up the breakout rooms? Because I'm not seeing anything on mine.
Yes, they should be open now. I see a few people joining. Some of like political engagement has a few people already. But it should have popped up. If you didn't see it, let me know. I can put you in one if you need it.
Franklin,
Yes.
I still don't see membership.
Yeah, same on my end, Franklin. You might have to. Oh, I see a room 9. Is room 9 going to be renamed membership, Franklin? Okay.
There we go.
Okay, thank you, Franklin.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Nothing's popped up. I'm still looking at closing and next steps.
Franklin,
Really?
can
Okay.
you hear me again?
Yes.
How long do we have in these meetings?
Let's see. We can do 10 minutes.
Are they going to switch or 5 minutes for each? Or
Yeah,
whole-
sure. You can feel free
tell
to
me.
hop around. You don't have to stick with one. You're not married to it. But feel free to hop around. And
Thanks,
again,
guy.
if you need me to put you in one, I can do that. So
Okay, you're a good guy.Ut me in one.
okay, I'll put you in one. All right.
Not
And
that
then
one.
Trudy, I saw your comment. You're not able to see them. Is that right?
Pardon me?
Trudy, you said you weren't able to see the rooms. Is that still true?
Right, I can't see the rooms.
Okay. Did you have one you wanted to go to?
Yeah, political engagement.
Political engagement. Okay. I'll assign you that right now.
And Franklin, can you make me a
Yes,
host? I can start putting some folks in rooms too.
Sure, I can do that.
I know.
So if you have a specific folks, if you have a specific room you'd like to be in and you didn't see the pop-up, please put it in chat and I can help send you to that breakout room. So there should be a Zoom chat if you want to go into the membership, precinct captains, political engagement field, records, fundraising, comms. Just put it in the chat.
This person.
All right.
See, huh? Why is that not okay? Move that over. But you're good, William. You're good, William. And yes, we will have another session after this one. We'll announce it. And Christine would like. Yeah, Christine.
All right, thanks so much. I just didn't get a chance to learn enough about the committee, so I'll join the next time.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Franklin, can you make me a co-host, please?
Yes.
Awesome.
On that. I'm not able to. Or maybe I can't. Interesting.
Oh, if it's set up as a webinar, you may not be able to, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and join one, but if you need to pull me out, pull me out.
Okay. All right. For everyone else, did you have a committee you wanted to go to specifically?
Hi, yes. Can somebody please put me in membership?
Okay, Robbie. Sure thing.
Hi, thank
Frank,
you.
no problem. All right. Anybody else?
I would like to go to field, but I don't
All right.
seem to be able to get there.
Okay, Christine. Let me see. There you go. All right, I'll send you to field.
So now you're doing busy, and Robbie went to membership. Can I go to political, please? This is
Yes. Sorry.
thanks, guy. No problem, man.
You said membership or political?
I'll go to political, then I go to membership. Robbie's in membership, so if I miss anything, I'll get it from her.
Okay. You should see, or it should pop up soon, and you should be able to click on it.
Thanks, guy.
All right. Anyone else?
Hey, yeah, sorry, there was confusion around the start time. Can you put up the is there a slide?
Oh, yeah. Sure, let me go back.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Here you go.
Um,
And I can always explain any of these for everyone too, if you like.
yeah, I feel like I'm curious about political engagement. What does that, like, a couple high level?
Yeah, so at a high level, political engagement is intended to be they're the point people for reaching out to elected, but also kind of being our front line for the political process. So let's say we need people to go downtown to make statements on the record. That's one effort. Another one again is a checking with your local elected officials, to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but also just making sure you have that connection, that repertoire as well. And let's see, the next thing I believe is focusing also on community building as well. Similar to field, but also more about just developing that network of relationships prior to the campaign cycle, just so that way we're not always starting on the back end. Those are like the high level things, but we can go through more details if you like.
No worries. Maybe I'll hop in there just to learn a little bit more, and then if I feel like it's not a great fit, can I pop out and?
Yeah. You guys can always feel free to move around as you see fit.
Awesome. Thank you.
Quick question for you. I was on the call at 7 and then waited for a while, and they said it will restart at 8. So, of course, I came back on at 8, and looks like you guys have been in progress for a minute. So can we get a copy of these slides?
Yeah. So we'll send these slides out along with the recording of the training, and then we'll also have a second one to follow up this one as well.
And second follow-up question for city captains, what breakout would that be?
Oh, so there should be one for, let me pull up the name. Regional precinct captains.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. Anyone else? See, there's a few more people. Donna or Lancelot or Mode, um, Stephanie or Betty?
Yeah, hey there. What's records and processes?
Oh, great question. So that committee is going to be under me. It is a committee intended to document all of the processes we have as a county party. Oh, there's more people in the back here. Sorry about that. More people trying to join. There we go. Okay. So that committee is intended to document all of our processes as a party. So, for example, let's say you want to, I don't know, look up how to run a training or maybe a fundraiser or, I don't know, a new committee, let's say. So the Records and Processes Committee will be in charge of documenting that process and the instructions on how to do it. So that way, if tomorrow we disappear forever, the next group of leadership will be able to like get on with the actual role. Oh, Seth Taylor wanted to go to comms. Okay, I'll do that. And this way, we that way we retain the institutional knowledge of the party. That way it doesn't leave every time there's a new cycle or something. Did that answer your question, Donna?
Yeah, I didn't know if it had something to do with the actual voting records.
Oh, so that might be probably political engagement, I think, might be the best bet for that.
Okay.
And I see there's more in the chat. Okay, Derek, I'll transfer you over. Okay.
Franklin, I missed the question or your initial. So are you waiting for us to tell you something? And also hello.
Yes. Hey, yeah, so we have breakout rooms for people to join. If anyone's interested, you can go to one. They should be available on your screen, but if not, let me know and I can put you in one. We've kind of gone over a high level. Just ask for help. Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry about that, gonna pop up, but we've gone over everything at a high level, and now we're kind of going into separate rooms.
Sure. Feel free to plug me in where you think makes sense. And thank you.
No problem.
I don't see the button on my screen.
Oh, okay, here, I'll edge you over. All right. All right, no problem, Mode. Yes, Lucian. If you're speaking, you're on mute.
I was sitting in the records room, but someone named Shawana came in and went out, and no one ever came in the records.
Yes, so that's my committee. I'm still trying to make sure everyone comes out of here and goes into one.
Oh, absolutely. And I can kind of
really?
voiceover. So,
But I will be over there once everyone here is settled. So Lena and Iman, or Lucy, did that resolve your question?
Yeah. Is there a way to get back to records if you're going to go back there?
Yes, I can put you back in.
Okay.
There also should be a breakout button as well that you can click, but I can put you there myself. All right. Should be over there soon.
Gotcha.
Okay, Lena doesn't see the button. Here, I can put you over in fundraising. All right. And then Iman.
Hey, sorry, I'm like just joining, so I'm just reading through this. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. Just besides the records and political engagement, what do those two entail?
get out
Okay,
there.
yeah, so political engagement is more about being the point people for the political process in the county. So you're like the front line in terms of reaching out to electeds, communicating with them, and then focusing on like public comments. If there's ever a bill coming up, you guys probably report on that to the rest of us. What else? Also checking in, making sure elected officials are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But anything regarding the electoral process and just engaging with folks on the ground, outside of field, I'd say would be more like political engagement. Whereas, let's say records and processes, that's documentation for all of the internal things we have in the party, so that way we have them instead of it just like leaving when someone decides to retire.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, engagement sounds good. Oh, that sounds fun to me.
Okay, I'll send you over there.
Thank you.
All right, everyone else. Any more questions? No? Okay. I'm going to go to the records and processes. If you need me, do message me in the chat, and I'll be able to help. Okay.
Join a breakout room. See, breakout rooms. Records. Join.
Amode, Betty, did you guys want to go to a room at all?
Okay, I'm back.
Who's in field? No one's in field. All right, I'm gonna go to field. I'm gonna go to field. Okay, and I'll see if I can make you a co-host. I can't. Okay, Lucy, I'm gonna make you a co-host.
What does a co-host do?
Basically, if someone's in the waiting room, you can let them in.
Uh,
Just stay here, and if someone comes in, just help them out and let them know.
okay, gotcha. Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Hello, iPad.
Hey, Lucian, how you doing?
I'm fine. Who is this?
I can't believe you can't hear my voice.
Oh, Ken.
I was just gonna mess with you. People always do that.
Of course.
To
How can I not know that this is Mr. iPad?
Did you?
Now we have Cassandra's here.
Hi, Cassandra. This
She's
is
on
Ken. I can't mute it. There's.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Hi, Cassandra. It's Ken. There. I don't know how this is being done. People are in breakout rooms right now.
Yes, they are.
Okay. And well, I was in the breakout and I left the breakout and I got here, so I don't know what. We'll probably come back here.
Yeah, I left the breakout room and came here, and Franklin said to stay put. So
okay, I'll stay put.
Staying put.
Oh, okay. So then I see.
It's been
Okay.
about another 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in a room with three other people. Derek Holloway. Hi, Derek. And Ahmad Sureka. If I said that correct, Sureka or Sureka. And then Ken and Cassandra just stepped out. So it's Derek, you, I, and Miss Sureka.
Oh, I just came out the breakout room. I could not come back, so I had to log out and then re-sign back in.
That's what I wound up doing.
Yeah, I did as well. I was in the breakout room and nobody was in there but me.
What group was that, Lucian?
That was records and processes.
Okay.
Which room are you trying to get to?
I'm gonna just wait here. I went to political first, and Robbie's in membership, so I'll get the information from her.
Okay. Trust everyone is doing well.
Doing great. Thank you. What about yourself?
Not bad. Not bad. Yep. We lost Sarika.
I was on the call at 7, but I had to. They said it started at 8.
Yeah, and it really started at 7:30.
There was there were I think they changed it to
Yeah, so sorry, folks. For awareness, this was originally scheduled at 8, but there was an issue with Mobilize. And so Franklin hopped on early because we had a bunch of folks in the waiting room. So that's the disconnect here. So our apologies. It was definitely a technical oversight that we should have caught. So apologies.
Kayla, this is Ken. On the notice, it said 7. And then when I logged in, it said 8. So maybe that threw people off.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened, Ken.
Oh, okay.
There was an issue with like our mobilized setup that we
Got
didn't catch in time. So that's why that message went out. Okay. I think we're slowly getting folks back in from the breakouts.
Hey, Donna, I'm happy to talk to you offline as well if you want to know more details. Sorry, we got cut off there, Caitlin.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Franklin, do you want to close us out? Oh, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Let me pull up the final one, the final slide. Go all the way back. There we go. Go back. All right. So in terms of, well, first off, thank you all for being here. I know it wasn't smoothest process, but don't worry. We'll send this recording out to everybody, including the slides, and we'll schedule another one and announce it at some point, either this month or early March, just so that way everyone's getting started. It will probably be sooner than that, honestly, just because we really want to get you guys, hitting the ground running. So next steps is we'll be announcing the starting dates for some of these committees. I believe a few of them I've already picked theirs, and so we'll also send those out. But some of them it might be still be in the air. But we'll let you all know kind of when they're getting started, and that'll be like the introduction, well, the second introduction to go into it for everyone who missed this training and maybe even the next one, just so that way, if you're at an in-person meeting or maybe you joined later, right? You still want to be a part of something, you can join one of those meetings, and that way you can kind of get your feet wet and see if you're actually interested in it once the work actually starts being done. Yes, Kayla.
Yeah, and just one quick thing here, because frankly, these are our action items. But one thing I want to put on everyone's radars here is we will also be sending out, because you joined this call, a follow-up survey to see if you've narrowed down some of your interests for joining a subcommittee this year. So I'm not sure, because I had to join later, if this was addressed up front, Franklin. But one thing that came up in some of the breakout rooms I hopped into was, hey, I'm interested in maybe comms, precinct cluster, political, and what that might look like balancing time. And I think our recommendation is let's start you on one or maybe two before you get involved in others. So ideally, you're picking your top two interest areas in this survey that we're going to send out. It's just a quick follow-up survey. So just putting that on your radar. That should be sent out in addition to the materials that we covered today.
Yeah, no, that's a good call out, Caleb. Let's see. So outside of that, yeah, like I said, we'll send everything out. We'll announce the next training session, and we'll make sure there's someone to talk to each committee as much as we can. I know some of these are still kind of being formed for 2026. For the majority of them, we should have somebody ready to go for that.
Franklin, Ken.
Yeah.
In your notes, are you going to be able to kind of give a notes what happened to in the other breakout rooms, or?
I think so. What I'll do is I'll get with the people who are in charge of each one, kind of get their feedback, and we can loop those in as well. That's a good point.
Thanks, Franklin.
Yeah, no problem. And again, this will be on YouTube when we upload it. So, and the second one will also be sent out and uploaded once that one's concluded as well. Great. Any more questions from anybody about anything? Yes, Leroy.
Okay, so with these orientations, is there a master list of documentation that individuals have gone through orientation? So a major requirement before becoming a member of a committee?
Let's see. For some of these
This
committees.
question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Oh, was that it, Leroy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so for some of these committees, they do have requirements. We'll send those out as well. Most of them are pretty open, from what I understand. So we'll let you know. Some of them do have requirements, but the majority of them, all you have to do is be a general member, and you should be fine.
Franklin,
Yes.
in response to Ken's question, do we have time? If not, I certainly understand, but do we have time maybe for each a leader from each of the groups to give like maybe 3 bullets?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. If you want, Cassandra, you can kick us off if you like.
I think Landon would be better to do that.
Okay, sure. Landon, did you want to say anything?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just give a summary of kind of what you guys talked about.
Yeah. So I kind of just gave a high level overview of like really the focus areas that we're going to be doing with this political committee. That, like I said, the engagement with our elected officials, to really focus on state and local and federal issues and advocacy work, and really bringing our subject matter expertise to this committee, along with building accountability with our Republican and Democratic legislators, making sure that they are doing by us as the voters that put them in that position in the first place, and then the candidate recruitment and engagement, and making sure that we build the next generation of leaders. And so I kind of just talked about that on the high level and really focusing on what our first kind of action item is, which is identifying those elected officials in each one of these regions. Start, building out a list for that, along with working with our state party to start targeting some of the 3 election bills that we know are going on in the state legislature right now that we need to tap into.
Awesome. Thank you, Landon. Let's see. Chase, would you be able to talk about fundraising a bit?
Yeah. Quickly, we meet every other Wednesday evening to talk about fundraising opportunities, event planning. Like I mentioned, this month we're focused on our Black History Month trivia events that we're doing at our 3 regions, and then after that we're going to shift gears to primarily focus on our gala, which will take place late summer, early fall. So if you are comfortable making the ask and asking for donations, and or if you are interested in event planning, fundraising committee is the committee for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Dr. O, did you guys have something from membership to go over?
Yes. Thank you, Franklin. Membership is one of those committees that have a criteria. You must be a post-it holder and must have been in your position for a year. Some of the things we talked about is the responsibilities of this newly created committee, where we are recruiting members, helping with onboarding and engaging and retention and participation, and a host of other things once our members is gathered, because I don't want it to be all of the things that I come up with. I want to incorporate the ideologies of every member, and that way we have a more inclusive membership committee that will serve all of the regions and the county. That's it in a nutshell, Franklin.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. Did any of the rest of the exec team have anything for their committees?
Yeah, I can share a quick hit on those who joined the precinct cluster program breakout room. So we had a couple folks on, some who are actually current precinct cluster folks, which was awesome. They shared their best practices and folks who were interested. And so it's really just a conversation around what does it mean to be a leader and an advocate for the party in your community, providing information, developing those connections with your neighbors and making sure they're aware of opportunities for them to plug in with the party politically and with field. And so that was really the crux of our conversation.
Awesome. Let's see. Any other committees? I know we had records and processes. For that one, we didn't really talk. It was just Lucian and I. But just for a recap, that committee's intention is to preserve our institutional knowledge as a party. So again, we'll be focusing more on documenting the processes we have and making sure they're codified, and that way they can be shared to the executive team and general membership, just so that way folks know what to do, so they're not starting over. Not to say that we don't have some things already documented, we do, but I'd like that to be across the board and uniform for everything. So that way, every process, every method, every event has a write-up, at least one page, right, of just kind of the do's and don'ts. Could be bullet points, could be a whole essay, whatever you want. But ideally, we should have something written for everything we do, so that we can always refer to it if we need to. Let's see. Did any other team member have anything they want to go over? If not, we can call it here. No? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being on here. Again, sorry for the time trouble. We'll make sure we schedule another one of these so that way we can go more in depth. And also make sure we have a few more folks on to answer more questions. And again, we'll also share the recording, the slides, the survey, and the YouTube upload once that's done. And also, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can reach out to us. I'll put our main mailbox in the chat. Opens.org. Yep, there you go. Thank you.
No
And
problem.
also, if you go to our website, you can actually find, let me put it in here, all of the emails for every exec member. So if you heard something tonight that you're interested in and want to learn more about, feel free to reach out to one of us. We'd be happy to help you. Okay. But otherwise, guys, that's it. Thank you again for being here. And again, we'll send everything out shortly later this week.
Thanks for
Thank you all. We appreciate your flexibility tonight.
Oh, thank you all.
Thank you, team.
Good night.
Good night. See you
Thank
guys.
you. Good night.